and he had abolished the.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. It's truly an honor for me to be with you, particularly on the occasion of the talk that Donald Trump is going to give today about the danger that we face from radical Islamic terrorism. Notice I used the words radical Islamic terrorism. Donald Trump is our only hope for change in the way in which we approach Islamic extremist terrorism, radical Islamic terrorism. He's our only hope for change. He's going to describe to you the America that President Obama and the person he unfortunately, and I believe now probably believes mistakenly, selected as his Secretary of State, Hillary Clinton. He's going to describe the world they were handed. And then he's going to describe the world as it is now. In other words, the damage they have done, particularly in the Middle East, but all throughout the world. In almost every area that we can think of, things are worse today than they were on the day Hillary Clinton walked into the State Department. I think history will write that she was the worst Secretary of State, at least in our lifetime. And what have they left us? They've left us a government that used to be on offense against Islamic extremist terrorism, radical terrorism, to a government that's now purely on defense, waiting for the next attack. Isn't that what we're doing? We're waiting for the next attack. God forbid here in America, God forbid in Paris or London, or I have a friend who left for London yesterday, and he was afraid to go to London. Afraid to go to London. You know why he was afraid to go to London? Because we don't know where they're going to strike next. That's why 70% of the American people today are afraid. This is the world that Hillary Clinton created for us on all those thousands of miles of trips, which amounted to a much worse world than the one she was given. Maybe it would have been better if she had stayed home. She and the president are afraid to even name our enemy, much less confront them and defeat them. Donald Trump has the intellect, the stamina, and the strength to confront our enemies. No one doubts that. And he has the temperament to win. She's running on her experience. If I were her, I'd run away from my experience. I don't have time to talk about it all, and I won't, but she's been found extremely careless by the FBI in handling our top secret material. I used to be the United States Attorney and the Associate Attorney General of the United States. I hired many lawyers, DEA agents, FBI agents, on and on and on. Read many background reports. If I were to read a background report on someone who had been extremely careless with top secret material, I couldn't hire them. In other words, she couldn't be hired as an assistant U.S. attorney, an FBI agent, a CIA agent. She couldn't be hired for any job in the government, nor could she be hired by a contractor who was doing work with the government, because she has a very, very bad security record. She was extremely careless in handling our top secret material, And she wants to be president. She's made millions and millions and millions and millions of dollars. And her husband, you know what his name is, by turning the State Department into a pay to the Clinton Foundation to play with the department racketeering enterprise. Do you know what a racketeering enterprise is? It's a racketeering, influence, corrupt organization. That is what the Clinton Foundation is. It's a racketeer, influence, corrupt organization put together for the enrichment of the Clintons and selling America out to Russian oligarchs, to money launderers, and to crooks all over the world. Read the book, Clinton Cash. I don't have time to tell you about all of it, and then just make a chart, and you're going to cover about 10 pages worth of what I would consider straight-out crimes. She has destroyed more emails than I have ever written. But of course, I don't do yoga. We can now see why she destroyed those emails. Because the emails show the connection between that racketeering enterprise I just described to you. It shows the connection between the people who were paying millions to the Clinton Foundation and to Bill Clinton in speaking fees. A $1.2 million speaking fee by UBS, $1.2 million to give one speech? I mean, he's a good speaker, but $1.2 million? Just at the time that Hillary is calling up the Treasury Department and telling them to go easy on UBS? Gosh almighty, as an ex-prosecutor, I'd love to get my hands on that case. Man, could I nail her on that one. Well, enough about her, because we're not going to have to think about her after November goes past. Donald Trump is very fortunate to have Mike Pence as his partner. Mike's background is exactly a complement to Donald Trump, meaning he's exactly what Donald Trump needs, and Donald Trump is exactly what he needs, and they are both exactly what America needs. He's a member of the Foreign Affairs and Judiciary Committee. He's a member of the, and during the time of September 11, when we went through the worst foreign attack in our history since the War of 1812. Remember, we didn't start this war, they did. We don't want this war, they do. And they didn't start it even in 2001. They attacked the World Trade Center in 1993. And they attacked it under the ideology of radical Islamic extremism, to create a caliphate, to destroy the infidels, Christians, Jews, non-believing Muslims from their point of view, and other people. Mike Pence understands this from his time both on the Foreign Affairs Committee, from his very, very timely visit, which I remember, to Ground Zero when we were in desperate need of help. He was there. And from his work on Judiciary Committee and helping to fashion the Patriot Act. By the way, under those 8 years, before Obama came along, we didn't have any successful radical Islamic terrorist attack in the United States. They all started when Clinton and Obama got into office. He's also been in business, and you know better than I do what a great governor he is of your state, what he's done for your state, how he's improved it and helped it and left it in tremendous condition. So I am what he did for the state of Indiana. Excuse me. We're going there next. We're going there next. Youngstown, Ohio. I love Youngstown, Ohio. So Donald Trump is very fortunate to have Mike Pence, and I am very honored to introduce him because I've been a great admirer from the time he was in the United States Congress through the time that he really has taken Indiana to heights that, gosh, if we could take the federal government there, we'd all be in great shape. So all of you in Ohio, which is a state that I also love very much, you got to support Mike, you got to support Donald, but here's the most important thing. They're our only hope for change. You've got to support them because they're the ones who are fighting for the regular American. They're the ones who are fighting against the establishment in Washington. They're the ones who are fighting against the lobbyists and the people who control Washington. And the press that is complicit in it, they're not fighting the press because the press is necessarily criticizing them. They're fighting the press for you so that you can get the truth, so you can get a fair, presentation of the facts. When they fight the press, it's not because they're thin-skinned or can't take it. They're both big, tough guys who've been through a lot. They can take a lot. Nothing's going to hurt them. They've been through it all. They're fighting the battle for you so that you and your children and my children can have a fair press, a press that gives both sides equal treatment on the news pages. So it is my honor to introduce to Youngstown, Ohio, the governor of Indiana and the next vice president of the United States, Mike Pence.
Thank you all. Thank you, Mayor. Thank you to ladies and gentlemen here in Youngstown, Ohio. It is an honor to be with you today. It seemed like it was just a few short weeks ago with my wife Karen at my side. I have the privilege to accept my party's nomination to run and serve as the next Vice President of the United States of America. And I'm deeply humbled to be with you today. I'm grateful for that gracious introduction by Mayor Giuliani, someone that I deeply, deeply admire, a man who demonstrated his courage on a dark day in America and has been a clarion voice for the interests of the United States of America and our security ever since. Today here in Youngstown, it is my privilege to introduce to you a man I've come to know personally over just the last several months, come to know his family, come to see him when the Klieg lights are off and the cameras are off. And I can tell you with conviction, he is a man whose strength and whose leadership and whose vision will make America great again. And today will be one more example as he articulates an extraordinary vision about national security. While many in the national media continue to major in the minors, focusing on semantics over substance, today you will hear once again a man who will remain focused on the solutions to the real challenges facing the people of the United States of America. Last week, Donald Trump outlined his plan to restart our nation's economy, to make America work again. Today, he will speak of the clear and present danger that radical Islamic terrorism poses to our nation and how we can make America safe again. You know, in my years in public service, I've seen the handiwork of our enemies firsthand. I was in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill on September 11, 2001. I walked along with Mayor Giuliani in the ashes and rubble of Ground Zero just about a week later in New York City. And with my family at my side, I have stood in a quiet field near Shanksville, Pennsylvania, where the heroes and the victims of Flight 93 met their fate. Since then, I've seen the sacrifices of the American soldier in the global war on terror. And then I watched, over the last 7.5 years, as the hard-fought gains that they won were squandered by the failed foreign policy of Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. History teaches that weakness arouses evil, and the weak leadership of President Obama and his Secretary of State Hillary Clinton, leading from behind, moving red lines, making so-called deals and ransom payments to the radical mullahs in Iran. The rise, rule, and reign of ISIS are a testament to this truth of history. Donald Trump knows that America needs to be strong for the American people and the world to be safe. Today you will hear the latest installment of a new vision for a new time. In place of the rudderless and aimless foreign policy of the recent past, you will hear today a broad-shouldered vision to confront our enemies, restore our security, and once again have America command the respect of the world. Now, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for new American leadership, for a safer America at home, for a stronger America on the world stage. It is my high honor and distinct privilege to give you a man of courage, a leader who will name our enemy and marshal the resources and the national will to make America safe again. I give you the next President of the United States of America, Donald Trump.
Wow, thank you.